Good morning, crew. What a great last morning. Before we head back to the US. You look at that. So, yesterday, we got up and had a nice walk with the neighbors. And then we met with Chris, our house manager. And then we went over where you're seeing right now. And there's a great spot over there where there are stepping stones across a tidal river. And we actually just kind of, I'll cut in footage of that right now. So we actually, before I cut in footage of that, I'm just enjoying the views right now. I've got my, I've put away the camera that I often use for these videos, and I'm using my main camera with the zoom lens so I can get shots that I wouldn't normally get here. Anyway, so now I will cut in some footage of the drone footage of us yesterday doing our little walk. So we went to these stepping stones, and the as you can see in this footage, it's well, actually, first thing we did was we went and we walked around and had a picnic, and you know, it was about a 4-hour adventure where we ended up walking out to the sand dunes that we see across the strait here every day. And you know, on my map with places to visit, I had these stepping stones as one of the places I'd like to see. And they're a little bit difficult to get to. You have to park and then walk about 1.5 miles. And it's not a particularly lovely walk. It's along a road. But then the stepping stones themselves are of unknown age and origin. They think there's been stepping stones there for a long time. They know that some of the stepping stones that are there now were placed only a couple hundred years ago. But still, it's kind of cool. And it's beautiful and iconic, as you can see in these videos. So then we came back and we finished getting the house ready. Actually, we're not quite ready to leave. We've got to move some things out of the dining room. And then, you know, like strip our bed that we slept in last night. But other than that, we're pretty much ready to go. So we came back, did that in the afternoon, and then Chris had invited us to Sue's in the evening for a little music, which we went down. Her partner Joachim, I think is how you pronounce it. My pronunciation is not good. Anyway, he's a PhD in musicology, ethnomusicology, and he plays jazz. And so it was a jazz jam, which I actually really enjoyed. Sarah, it's not her type of music. Actually, you know, if it's just sitting around listening to it, it's not. But I did really enjoy it. They're quite good, and they were having fun. And then, in addition, a whole bunch of our neighbors were there. So we got to hang out and chat with them for a little over an hour before we turned into pumpkins and had to come home and go to bed. In addition, actually, before we went down, I texted Ben, who I went and did a cold soak with, and he had, I don't know if you remember, I probably talked about this in that video, but he has an interest in the Plains Indians, actually. As a kid growing up, he read about the Plains Indians and was kind of a little obsessed with them. And I happened to have the place names atlas that I worked on here, and I told him I'd bring him a copy, and I couldn't find it. And it turns out I'd loaned it to Chris. So when she came by yesterday, she brought it back, and so I texted him and said, I have to get a copy of this. Do you want me to bring it by? And so before we went out for music, I took it over there, and I spent about 45 minutes chatting with Ben. Really enjoyed that. Super nice guy, like I said. I'm looking forward to when you come and visit next year. I think we'll get together with him because he's obviously, his life revolves around swimming. So, yeah. So, a very nice social day. Pretty relaxing. Cleaning up and getting everything ready to go. And getting ready to head out today. But I'll tell you about that in tomorrow's video. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.